brand new video. Today we're doing two NFL player props here on PrizePicks for Monday Night Football between the Minnesota Vikings and the Chicago Bears. Before we get started, take a look in the description below. You guys can hop into our premium Discord. $9.30 per month, 31 cents per day. Currently doing a promo for the first month. 50% off the first month, so less than $5 to get in to the premium Discord for 30 days. Again, link in the description below for that. Super positive community. Everyone just in there trying to help each other cash. I post all the plays I'm making on PrizePicks. Just a glimpse of some NBA players that I gave. You can't see it. I messed up the screenshot, but yeah, we hit on numerous pairs this weekend over on the premium Discord for the NFL Sunday. So link in the description below for that. Also, I want to mention I'm not a gambling expert and this is not financial advice. Simply plays I'm personally looking at making. Hopefully giving you guys some insight and analysis to then make your own player prop decisions here. Again, no one's pressing submit on those parlays other than yourselves. But I got two plays here from this game. If you don't know, unfortunately at this current time I am a Bears fan. So I'm obviously going to be into this game. But yeah, let me know in the comments below how you guys feel about the Bears currently. I'm a Bears fan and it's been obviously a tough lifetime for me, but nonetheless, Minnesota's 3-point favorites in this one, 43.5 over under. So Vegas predicting some decent offense in this one. Division rivalry game usually are pretty close, and I think the Bears with Justin Fields are don't sleep on the Bears. They're sneaky good with Justin Fields. Like, let's be honest, they haven't had a great season, but before Justin Fields got injured, he had been, things were increasing, and they were in ball games, right? Let's just be honest here. He's back now, fully healthy. He played pretty well last week, and when they almost beat the Lions on, I think that was last Sunday when they almost beat the Lions. But nonetheless, you guys, two props that I do like from this game. Let's not waste any time. Let's get after it. So the first plays, both these plays are going to be receiving yards props, and the first one is going to be Roschon Johnson. And if you're in the premium or even maybe on this channel, this is a player that I've taken a few times this season, and I think he sold us almost every single time. And that's when his receiving yards lines were at 10.5. 12.5, up in the double digits in receiving yards. We get him today here at 6.5 receiving yards, and for me personally, I don't really understand this line. So, first of all, D'Onta Foreman is going to be out for this one, right? And we had kind of seen D'Onta Foreman dominate snaps, taking a ton of snaps away from Roschon Johnson. I mean, if we take a look at this depth chart, wherever I can see it, D'Onta Foreman. Let's just click it. Yeah, he's going to be out, so he's ruled out for Week 12. So it obviously puts Khalil Herbert in the RB1 role, but Roschon Johnson, right, playing that complimentary second running back in that offense, and that's really where he thrives, and that's where I think he's going to thrive specifically in this passing game. Now we look at Roschon Johnson, right? He missed a bunch of games because of the concussion, right? He missed 2 games. He got knocked out here against Washington with the concussion, but you see, like earlier in the season, right, and this is ideally I think how the Bears wanted to use him. He ran 17 routes, 6 catches for 35 yards, 12 routes, 2 catches for 10 yards, and then 9 routes, 2 catches for 11 yards. And even down here, when he came back from that injury, again, this was with no Khalil Herbert, with D'Onta Foreman as the RB1. He ran 13 routes, 4 targets for 10 catches, 12 routes, 1 catch for 9 yards, and then 18 routes here, 4 catches for 14 yards. And then here against Detroit, it was obviously Foreman playing a ton and Khalil Herbert playing a ton. Roschon Johnson, he still got 6 carries, but he was that RB3 in this game. So I think now here with D'Onta Foreman being out for this one, it presents a great opportunity for Roschon Johnson. We look over on Outlier. Again, there's a link in the description. You can hop in, get a 7-day free trial with Outlier. This is a research betting tool that I do use every single day. First off, he's at 7.5 on books, so we could expect possibly this line to jump to 7.5. He is at 7.5 on most sports books, -120 on DraftKings over 7.5. So we get a 1 yard discount here on PrizePicks. But what I like about this is that look at his receptions. Hold on, his receptions line has moved over 1.5. I guess it's moved. He's under 160, over 1.5, under 1.5. Sorry, -135 here. Receptions is weird because it was crazy juiced on the over, like literally it was crazy juiced. But -120 over 7.5 receiving yards. Again, he can hit this in one play. But the Vikings defense against running backs has been suspect, and I think it's one that shouldn't be overlooked. Like, this is the last 4 weeks. The Vikings to give up the most receptions to the running back position, and it's really not even close. 36 receptions to running backs over the last 4 weeks. Like, I mean, I don't think people immediately jump to the Vikings as a team when you think about targeting running backs and receiving work, but over the last 4 weeks, they've just been getting absolutely dominated. We look at running backs game log this season versus the Vikings. Like, this is just in some recent games. In the game against Denver, right, we saw McLaughlin have 14, P. Ryan have 60, Javonte Williams have 16. Game against the Saints, obviously Alvin Kamara is going to dominate, 33 receiving yards. And all we need is 7 here. A game against the Falcons, Bijan Robinson, 8 receiving yards. I guess Tyler here had 2 catches still for -9. And then we look here, A.J. Dillon, Aaron Jones, 17 plus, 41. Christian McCaffrey, 51. So they have been getting dominated really by running backs passing the ball at the backfield. Obviously, the Vikings love to blitz a ton, which creates a ton of checkdowns for quarterbacks to their running backs. And then we look at Roschon Johnson. His game log this season, like without Delta Foreman, right? 10 receiving yards, 11 receiving yards in those 2 games where he was at RB1. 1 catch for 2 yards against Denver, and then had no catches against Washington. But this was the game where he got knocked out with a concussion in the second quarter. So I think it's a great spot, a buy low opportunity here for a player like Roschon Johnson. I definitely think he's going to get that, that receiving work. Again, he's ran 8+ routes in pretty much every game this season. If we can get 10 to 12 routes from him tonight I definitely think he should see 3 to 4 targets in this one. Obviously, with the Vikings and the way they play their defense, I definitely think it's buy low. 1 catch could hit the over on this for Roschon. So that's the first play. The second play is going to be another running back receiving. It's going to be Ty Chandler over 10.5. I think personally, looking at the Vikings, I think this is a RB1, RB1A type of backfield now. Not that Alexander Mattison has played horrible, but he hasn't played well enough to, I think, keep Ty Chandler from getting a significant amount of snaps in this one. We look at Ty Chandler over his last 2 weeks. He's ran 10 routes and 7 routes. And last week, he caught 4 passes on 4 targets for 37 receiving yards. Now, 4 targets last week. You also have to count. There is this one. Also, I do like to look at this, but he did. Josh Dobbs did target him again here. I think this is early in the third quarter, I believe, and it was obviously an incomplete pass, but it got called back for offensive pass interference. So, if you talk about just game flow, he did essentially get targeted 5 times last week. And I definitely think even this week his snap count is going to increase even more. We saw Alexander Madison have a costly fumble last week as well, which I just think they're going to go to Roschon Johnson in this one. Right, we look at over an outlier. Ty Chandler heavily juiced on the over of 1.5 receptions, -150, -154, over 1.5 receptions. He is also on books 1 yard higher than we get him on PrizePicks, 11.5 receiving yards over on most books here, -117. And then obviously the Bears, right? The Bears we know just get dominated by running backs, right? Last 8 weeks, the most receiving yards to the running back position without question. They also allow the most yards per throw, 8.22 yards per throw. So again, Ty Chandler is a player that could hit this in one play. We see Roschon bumped to 7.5. I'm still playing it at 7.5, guys. I'm still gonna play it, and we see it get bumped. It's what it is on books. I knew that was gonna happen. So again, I like that it did get bumped with this video just to show you guys how often these bumps do happen. So we're keeping with Roschon 7.5, guys. If you're made it to the end of this video, it's at 7.5. I'm still playing it. Tyler Chandler over 10.5. We're going back to it here. Like I said, 5 targets last week. 1 got called back. -150 over 1.5 receptions. And then we just look at running backs game log this season versus the Bears. It's just so many running backs have smashed the over on this line. Like literally 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 different running backs, you guys. 18 different running backs have hit the over on this line here against the Bears. And we see how many running backs have had at least, 5 receiving yards. It's like probably close to 25, probably over 25 running backs have hit the over on that line. So, again, both these lines and both of them have bumped here. That's crazy. I'm playing both of them here. That's crazy that we get these bumps. Absolutely insane that we get these bumps here. But nonetheless, you guys, both plays that I do like here. Roschon over 7.5 receiving yards. Ty Chandler over 11.5. I'm just going to ride and play both of them here. Obviously, it's what they are on the books. Drop a like on this video. Hit that subscribe button. And as always, let's catch.